My fiancée vanished on me, taking our wedding savings with her. In response, I texted her mother. Nice job raising a crook. Then I filed a police report, leading to her arrest for fraud. Now her attorney is blowing up my phone, desperate for a deal. I'm 32, male, and a week later this still feels like a plot from a terrible film. But my anger, it's sharp, controlled. Last Saturday I was supposed to marry Lauren, 29. Instead I woke to an empty home and a drained wedding account. Roughly $35,000 gone. Poof. So was Lauren. No message, no call. No, it's not you. It's me. Just nothing. Her wardrobe, her passport, everything erased. We've been together 5 years, planning this wedding for the last 12 months. Every vendor payment, every tiny detail came from that account. We both contributed, but the bulk, about $25,000, was from a work bonus I'd earned. After the shock settled, took a few hours, pacing my place like a trapped beast, I called her parents. Her mom, Diane, picked up all bubbly. "Diane," I said, voice steady. "Lauren's gone. So's the wedding money." Dead air, then a nervous chuckle. "Oh, Ethan, you prankster. She's probably just jittery. Maybe out with her sister, Megan." "No," I replied. "Megan's called me twice already, asking where Lauren is. She's not with her. The account's empty. Her things are gone." Denial kicked in hard. "Lauren wouldn't do that. It's a mix-up. Maybe you misplaced the funds, or she's planning a surprise." "A surprise? Diane? She took everything. It's theft." That's when her tone changed. "Now, Ethan, don't you dare slander my daughter. She's a good person. Maybe she just realized she couldn't go through with it and needed space." "The money," I pressed. "Well, weddings cost a lot. Maybe she felt entitled to some of it for her efforts." Her efforts. I nearly choked. That's when I ended the call and sent the text. Nice job raising a crook. Childish, perhaps gratifying, definitely. Then I contacted the police and filed a report. Fraud. Grand theft. Whatever they could pin on her. I handed over bank records, screenshots of our texts about wedding costs, vendor agreements. The cops were surprisingly empathetic. Ryan Miller took notes, listened, said they'd investigate. Next, I called the vendors, broke the news, lost most deposits. Naturally, the caterer was kind. The florist, too. The venue, less so. But money is just money, can be earned back. The betrayal, that's the real wound. Slept maybe 2 hours that night. The next day, Ryan Carter called. They tracked Lauren's name at the Denver International Airport. She'd booked a one-way flight to another state a week earlier. A week while we were sampling wedding cakes, she was plotting her exit. Update 1. 2 weeks later, the online support was a boost. Thanks for that. 4 days after my first post, Ryan Carter called again. "Mr. Harrison, we found Miss Vance. She wasn't cooperative. We've arrested her based on your evidence. She's being processed, arrested." Even though I'd started this, hearing it hit hard. A strange mix of relief and something else. Regret, maybe for the guy who was thrilled to marry her weeks ago. That guy's a fool now. The arrest was out of state, so there's an extradition process. But the charges, fraud over $10,000, are serious. Then, the calls began. First, Diane, Lauren's mom, shrieking like a banshee. "How could you do this?" "It was a mistake. A young woman's error. You're ruining her life over money. You've got a good job. You'll recover it." "Diane," I said, exhausted. "She stole $25,000. That's not a mistake. It's a crime. She planned it. She could have talked to me, walked away. She chose theft. She was scared. You pushed her into this wedding." "Total nonsense. She picked the venue, most of the decor. Drop the charges, Ethan. We'll repay some of it." Eventually. No, this is with the police now. She faces the consequences." I hung up. Then Megan, her sister, called. Calmer, but still pleading. "Ethan, I swear I didn't know. This isn't her prison though. Really? Can't we settle this? She's terrified. Mom and Dad are a wreck. Megan, she had my number. She could have called instead. She ran and hid after emptying our account. What would you have me do? I don't know, but she's my sister. There's got to be another way. The other way was her not stealing a life-changing sum the day before our wedding. I said, tell her to get a good lawyer, and she did, or her parents did. Yesterday, a blocked number called. I answered, Mr. Harrison, this is Robert Reed, Lauren's father, with Mr. Thomas Grant, our attorney. Great conference call. Mr. Harrison. Thomas Grant, all polished, jumped in. Mr. Harrison, we know you're upset. Lauren acknowledges her poor judgment. We're offering a settlement. $15,000 returned, and you ask the DA to drop the charges. I laughed. $150 a portion. After her arrest, you magically find some cash. No, it's not my call to drop charges. She's been arrested. The state's pursuing felony theft and fraud. Robert Reed cut in, voice strained. Son, be reasonable. She's young with her life ahead. A criminal record will ruin her. Don't you have any mercy? Mercy? Did she have mercy when she drained the account and left me to deal with the fallout when she booked a flight while saying she loved me? My mercy's gone. Somewhere between finding the empty account and canceling the vendors. Mr. Thomas Grant tried again. A trial will be ugly, Mr. Harrison. Public. Your life dragged out. Lauren will say she felt pressured, that the wedding was your idea, that she panicked. Let her, I said, voice cold. I have every text, email, receipt showing we planned together. I have the date she bought her ticket. Her panic was well planned. This isn't a negotiation. That $25,000 was for our wedding. Now it's evidence in a criminal case. Talk to Ryan Carter or the DA. I hung up. My pulse was racing. The nerve, poor judgment, pressured, unreal. Then Diane called again, this time sobbing, not raging. Ethan, please, she'll repay it all. We'll get a loan. Just make them release her. She's not made for jail. It'll destroy her. She should have thought of that before stealing Diane. Click. Now Mr. Thomas Grant is leaving voicemails. 3 today, each more urgent. Mr. Harrison, call me back. We need to talk. We can sweeten the deal. My client's distraught. Yeah, I bet. Consequences sting. Let him stew. I'm meeting the assistant DA next week to give a victim impact statement. I'm not budging. She made her choice. Let her face it. Maybe in a cell for a while. Update 2. 1 month later. What a month. The audacity from Lauren's side just kept coming. This almost admirable in a twisted way. After ignoring Mr. Finch's calls and forwarding them to the ADA, things got wild. First, Megan showed up at my place. No warning. Rings the buzzer like we're old pals. Ethan, we need to talk. She says, all sincere. Megan, I'm talking to the DA. That's who Lauren's lawyer needs to deal with. No, we need to talk as people who care about Lauren. She tried to step inside. I blocked her. She's not eating, Ethan. She's falling apart. Her lawyer says, you're being cruel. Enjoying this. Enjoying this? My life imploded. Megan, I lost a fortune. My fiancé turned out to be a thief, and I canceled my own wedding. Yeah, real fun. Now, if you'll excuse me, then the guilt trip. Mom and Dad are talking about selling their house to cover your money and Lauren's legal fees. You'd make them homeless for revenge. They're selling their house because their daughter stole $25,000 and got caught. That's on Lauren, not me. I shut the door, heard her muttering outside before she left. Then, random posts started popping up online from Lauren's distant acquaintances. Vague stuff about toxic partners, men controlling women with money, and how sometimes a woman has to do what she must to break free. Subtle. Some even used a hashtag with my name. My techie friends traced a few posts to IPS near Lauren's parents' place. Nice try. I screenshotted it all, sent it to the ADA. Not a crime, but it shows they're trying to spin her as the victim. Mr. Thomas Grant, seeing I wouldn't cave, targeted the ADA. He sent a huge file of letters from Lauren's family and friends claiming she's emotionally fragile, has anxiety, never saw it in 5 years, and that this out-of-character mistake came from wedding stress. They even got a therapist who'd met Lauren twice post-arrest to write that she wasn't thinking straight. The ADA, Miss Davies, a straight shooter, called me, "Ethan, they're painting you as the villain and her as a desperate damsel who cracked. Her lawyer wants a plea deal. Full $25,000, restitution, probation, no jail. He's leaning on her good character and emotional distress. Restitution and probation." After all this, the planning, the lies, the gall, I kept my voice even. Kelly, she didn't crack. She booked a flight a week in advance. She methodically emptied the account. Then her family and lawyer tried to bully and spin this. This wasn't a breakdown. It was a scheme. If she's so fragile, she shouldn't have committed a felony. I told her about Megan's visit, the online posts. This isn't remorse. It's damage control because she got caught. Miss Davies paused. "I appreciate your input, Ethan, and your willingness to testify if needed. The revenge wasn't a dramatic showdown. It was methodically working with Kelly. I resubmitted all the evidence. The ticket purchase timeline versus our wedding plans. Bank records showing deliberate withdrawals. Vendor contracts with both our names. Texts of Lauren gushing about our honeymoon. The premeditation was key. Kelly used it masterfully. The plea negotiation called a settlement conference happened last week. I wasn't there, but Miss Davies called after. Mr. Finch showed up cocky with Diane and Robert Reed for emotional backup, ready to push for probation. Kelly laid out the state's case. The calculated theft, the sum, the betrayal, and then the clincher. She highlighted their post-arrest intimidation attempts and the amateur social media campaign. She painted a picture of a family enabling a Blaken. Criminal. The Naomi Paris Davies wasn't impressed, especially when Mr. Finch argued, "My nice job raising a crook text to Diane was provocation." The Naomi reportedly raised an eyebrow. "Provocation for what, Mr. Thomas Grant?" For Miss advanced to commit grand larceny before the text was sent. With the evidence stacked against her and the Naomi unsympathetic, Lauren faced a choice. Trial with a likely worse outcome or a tougher plea deal than they'd hoped. The deal? Plead guilty to felony fraud, full $25,000 restitution, paid before sentencing. Suddenly, Diane and Robert found the money in 48 hours. Guess the house sale talk got serious. 90 days in. Jefferson County Jail. Not prison, but not probation either. 5 years strict probation with conditions like mandatory work and financial counseling. A permanent felony record. Lauren took it sobbing per M. Davies. Her parents were livid, but Mr. Thomas Grant said it was her best shot. Miss Davies told me the jail time matters. Ethan, it shows this kind of calculated betrayal has weight. The felony will stick with her. That's justice. She won't skate free. Every job, every lease, that felony will follow. Diane left one last voicemail weeping. "You ruined her, Ethan. Hope you're satisfied." Satisfied? Not jumping for joy. More like a quiet, hard one. Relief. I held my ground. Didn't let them intimidate me. And the system worked. She didn't get away with it. They thought they could bully me into folding. They didn't know how relentless I can be when betrayed. The money's in escrow per the court, so I'll get it back soon. The emotional scars, those will take time. But knowing Lauren is facing real consequences, that her family's arrogance crashed into reality, that's justice. Solid, tangible justice. Time to move forward. Maybe get a dog. Dogs don't betray.